Hello, my name is Thamar Long, and Ted Long is my father.
Ted Long, who grew up in Ashford, Alabama, learned the art of hairstyling in New York in 1962. After graduating from cosmetology school, he began working freelance at fashion shows. He went to work for NBC and worked for the Today Show as a hairstylist. His contacts, made in the New York television and stage, led him into motion pictures.
With the things that he did when he worked within the movies, we always felt that he was a star in doing the things with the stars that he worked with. Diana Ross and probably, I would say, Barbara Walters were probably some of the fondest ones. And he even worked on the movie Waiting to Exhale with Layla Rashawn and Whitney Houston and Angela Bassett, Wesley Snipes, and he's got a lot of photos of their interaction with them. So that would probably be some of the fondest ones. You know, his interaction with people went far beyond just doing hair. He became friends with those people, and a few people came over to the house when we moved down to Alabama, and we also visited a few stars' homes. So we always felt that connection that he was our star. Every time I look at a movie, you know, my father's influence on what he did in those movies come to the forefront. The first thing I always look at is a hairstyle. And then I'll look at the makeup. And then I'll look at what they're wearing. And then I'll go back even through the credits and see who did the makeups and who did the hairstyles and things of that nature. So each movie I look at, I always look at some of the things that were created, and I envision him and what he did at those particular times also. And I still go back and look at some of his old movies also. Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings that had Richard Pryor and that had James Earl Jones and all of those in there. So you look at those old costumes and uniforms and the things that they wore and the things that the hairstyles that they had and how he manipulated things in that era to where they are. And you can look at things that are done now when people do a retro movie and you look at the similarities. So I often look at that as well. What a joy to know that he worked with Michael Jackson. I mean, back when he worked on The Wiz, we lived in Alabama and had just moved there, I'd say the prior year before that production started. So as soon as we moved there, he went back to work on that film. And we rented a small apartment in the same building we moved from. And he would go on set every day and just bring back, you know, photos and different stories of who he worked with Diana Ross, with Michael, with Nipsey Russell, and all of the actors in that, Lena Horne and the actors of that movie. And that was a joy knowing that movie. I mean, that movie was special to me because I learned at the age of 16 every word and lyric to that. I could recite it because I had watched it so many times. My father came to visit me twice after here in Baltimore. He was a part of the Southeast Alabama Medical Center's board, and they were having a board meeting in Washington, D.C. And we got together a couple of times when he came up, and we had lunch and reminisced, and he met my wife. My father was such a big influence on the photography that he did and all the pictures that he took. I'd said, you know, this would be something that I'd like to get into and kind of perfect and take to a professional level. So I'm doing a lot of sports photography here in the DMV and learning an old trick. My father was very smart, intellectual, common. He loved the woods, loved to hunt, loved the outdoors. He inspired us to work hard, you know, to stay on the straight and narrow, to always do the best that you could at whatever you were doing. And he never shied away from anything. So he was, that's what made him very successful. He was always willing to tackle anything that came up, and that made him a great hairstylist. It put him in the forefront.
Ted Long, hairstylist to the stars, was featured in numerous news articles, magazine ads, and other publications. Ted was also the author of the book Hairstyles for the Black Woman. Ted and his wife Mary successfully operated their hair salon, Long Cars, for many years in Dothan, Alabama. Ted Long was a true professional who reached the pinnacle of his profession, as well as being an outstanding family man and community leader.